appears that Meghan Markle's on the warpath once again. And when you think about it, it all started off so well. There they were, of course, all sat down, beige, Meghan, seemingly quite happy, of course, talking about her favourite thing, herself. And then very quickly things started to fall apart. But now this particular lady is now also being dragged into the equation. What can have possibly gone wrong? As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you today in the very heart of London. I hope you're all right. Very autumnal this, isn't it? Looks like, sorry, a bit of a lacklustre wave there. Welcome one and all brand new subscribers. Nice to have your company. Welcome to our friendship group, our community. Do be respectful, do get involved, but you know, it's all about you. Do let me know what you think to the stories. I know many of you enjoyed my recent story about Robin Hood being lifted off as a sort of mascot and everything. It's madness, isn't it? When you think about it, we should celebrate history wherever it really is, you know, in the world. It doesn't matter what your country is. Why do you know that you fought for that? You kind of, they live that. That's the deal, isn't it? But seemingly we're always embarrassed and want to be inclusive. Couldn't care less, could you? Just remember the past and learn from it. That's my motto, good and bad. That's the thing, isn't it? It's like when you look at old pictures and you think, what was I thinking? You know, the ones, yes, the outfits, and you think, well, I thought that looked the height of fashion. I look at things and think, how come, you know, that tie, what was that? There's no need to be rude. I quite like this tie, but you know what I'm saying. Back as ever to your royal story of the day. This particular thing was supposed to be a big launch. I mean, how many launches have Harry and Meghan had? But you could see the friction on screen, even between Jane Powley and, of course, Meghan. You know, clearly they didn't get on. Clearly this wasn't exactly going the former Duchess's way. Prince Harry looked bored, rigid, wanted to be somewhere else. And Meghan, of course, delighted not for once, fortunately, with the soap story, but once again about a very difficult time inside the monarchy and how she'd only scratched the surface of all the problems that she has while living in a multi-million-pound mansion and, of course, not having to worry about the winter fuel allowance. You get the picture. But what's fascinating now is, as many people have detailed, it's interesting to find that Meghan was very unhappy behind the scenes and apparently didn't enjoy this particular episode in her life, allegedly. So much so, though, that she sort of kind of fell out with the media company CBS. And CBS, if you think about it, it's very difficult to fall out with them because Gayle King is the king cheese of their breakfast show and, of course, one-time chum of Oprah Winfrey, who famously interviewed Meghan Markle. Follow the track, you see. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting because Meghan, as I said, was unhappy with the unreleased tapes that CBS decided to do. The first bit she agreed with, the second bit she didn't. Not quite sure which bits they didn't agree on. Gets more interesting here though, because according to a source, Meghan's now actively looking at this particular footage where CBS have been caught out, literally putting in a totally different answer to the budding president, that is, of course, Kamala Harris. This was in a program called 60 Minutes. And according to the team behind the scenes, Meghan believes something similar could have happened to her. I kid you not. Paranoia City or what? Now, what I find fascinating is all media companies are not to be trusted, particularly the mainstream media. They all have a political narrative behind the scenes. That's their deal, that's their job. And you can see it over here. I told you recently about Channel 4 booking the likes of Emily Maitlis and Stormy Daniels. They clearly dislike the potential president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. That's the reason why they booked these people. But back to Meghan. Apparently she feels that perhaps she doesn't recall saying all of this particular interview. And again, more interesting because she didn't request the final tapes, or indeed, at the time of recording this, didn't have the sanction to have full copyright approval and, more importantly, full editorial control. As I said, these things start off well and very quickly, well, they go wrong, right? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.